you guys, it's January 6th. Welcome to Quiet Like the Forest, formerly Queen's Tarot. As if my live last night, I couldn't get even more in-depth or complex with all these tarot scopes I had shared with you guys. Today, I took this information and plugged it into a Celtic Cross, asking, what exactly is POTUS doing to stop Orangeholio and wrap this whole thing up at the 11th hour? This is so interesting. To get started, the cards that usually are on the bottom of the deck over here on the side that describe the entire thing, I drew the astrology card. I'm tying the astrology cards with the Celtic Cross Tarot. So what is this about? Well, it's about the partnerships, the people who've been involved, whether it's been POTUS's opposition or his allies. But to wrap things up, he's got the Hermit, the 9 cups, the Strength, and the 9 swords. Look at the 9s. We're almost there. To me, these are the investigations that have been going on with this enterprise and Felonia. The Strength card is the rusher strength that it exerts here, causing the 9 of swords a nightmare wherever we go, i.e. January 1st. So that's how this whole thing is described. Now, people caught up with the 7th house description for this whole thing. We have Skylink, Telegram, how it affects his inauguration, POTUS regarding the Mashan ruling, and Donald's asteroid Lucifer. That was hilarious yesterday because this is stuck to him. And then also Quiet Like the Forest, because I always try to throw a teroscope for me to see where I am for validity's sake. Okay? So, who is POTUS during all of this? We have the 9th house of faith. This is describing the law and lands far away and extremists. He is the Queen of Swords reversed. That's his signifier. His nation, he's kind of like got all of this stuff under wraps. No one can see what the body of law is that he is going to use. What's covering him is the 6 of Swords. I'm just going on my merry way with transition. Nobody pay attention to this. I asked what the challenge was for him with all this. There was no challenge. It is in motion, the 8 of Pentacles, paying attention to every detail. This has been perfectly executed and thought about, okay? So, what did the foundation of him wrapping things up? Well, we've had this area of secrets that's been driving me crazy because I can't always see what these secrets are. But what I found was this 5 of Cups card. This card is the one that I associate with Americans here, associating with lands, countries overseas, okay? Because we have these 2 lands, you have a bridge, you have these cups, 2 cups up, 3 cups down. Cups for me are also Americans, but how they're getting help to create this environment is torturous, and the 5 of Cups is also a middleman here. So who had this shared the same thing at the foundation? NATO, Skylink, and Quiet Like the Forest. Those are some of the players that are involved with the data that's been gathered. What is crowning POTUS here? Moon void, of course. This is something that has not happened yet, that is going to come out of the blue, seemingly. There is a plan for what is happening to round this all up. We have 2 nations, 2 things. This is my card showing people talking to one another. Reversed, we're not supposed to know about these things, but it has to do with Orangeholio stealing an election and theft of other goods. Okay, so who is also crowned by this moon void, of course, here? We have, it's related to the Mashan ruling and like all those back channels, the ICC and the Hague. What did POTUS set up in the past now so that he can wrap everything up? This felt like a really big piece. Well, we have the 3rd house messages. We have agreements, we have intercepts, we have contracts, we have things that are written out, but mostly like intercepts and maybe data scraping, okay? So what did he do in the past? Well, I have the Queen of Cups reversed. That's America. The Five of Pentacles in the past. This is like leaving people out, voters, counts, working with an inner circle outside of America. With the Ace of Swords and the Ace of Wands, these are strikes on America with the election and the truth of what's to come. So these things were set into place, and he is ready to strike with these two aces. They totally came up together. So in the past, who shares the messages? Who got the intercepted? China. And only China came up with this. Isn't that interesting? I just got that Chinese balloon in my head, and I wonder how that's related to Starling. So this is leading to what for POTUS to wrap everything up? Well, we have the Jupiter Abundance card. There's a lot of things that are going to happen as he wraps this up. It's going to come quickly. We've got the Five of Wands, the middleman, the fight ahead of us, the people who are involved, the Ten of Pentacles, Mar-a-Lago. This has come up. It's like NATO for me and our allies. The challenge, it's not even a challenge. When I drew this card, it was like the Empress card. This is for the country of Russia, Mother Russia, how this is all tied up together, okay? So this is what's to come. And who else had the Jupiter card, abundance in this position? Korea. Korea has, so this is all based on the China intercepts and comms, that Korea has been able to gather. That's what I'm assuming, because Blinken and Austin, their first trip during the Biden administration was to Japan and Korea. Now, Blinken is on his final trip. He went to Japan, Korea, and France. This is what's to come when he returns from his trip on the 9th or afterwards, okay? How do we see POTUS? Grand Trine blessings. He's got everything he needs. It's all in order. He's the King of Pentacles. Who else has this in this position? No one, but it ruled the 8th house, okay? POTUS stands alone here. He's got everything he needs. But the ruler of this 8th house, the only person this came up with, was for S.E. Smith's report. I think S.E. Smith gave that report also to Blinken to go overseas. That's my own personal opinion. How do we see POTUS talking with himself? What does he think about these things? He's thinking about the 11th house networks and friends and allies. His own, but also the enemy. He drew the Queen of Wands. There's a lot of nations that he has talked to, and organizations like, NATO. Who had this here? We have our Attorney General and NATO. Collaboration going on there. So what is POTUS's hope? Well, he hopes to use the law, Sagittarius, I see, and the Chariot card to round everyone up and get this thing going really, really quick. This also applies to nobody. Nobody drew this, only POTUS. I know this is for the fear. I didn't feel any fear from him, but just more like a nuisance. We have the Aries card, I am. This is what I'm going to do. I don't care about the the Supreme Court type of feel is what I had. He's got a way to override that. And who had this here is a cooperating witness regarding election interference. His next step is the Moon card. The Moon card I've always seen kind of as like the China, and how information is pinging back and forth, kind of like this card that's grounding this, people working with other nations. So he had the Moon card. What's happening next? The Devil. Getting the Devil. We all know who that is, Orangeholio. The person sharing this position, we have GOP's anxieties about Orangeholio and Falonia, Republican Party. And the final outcome, we've got this Uranus card, Genius. This is a card of something happening out of the blue. It strikes, it hits, everybody sees it. It's like a thunderbolt. Four of Pentacles, POTUS. I've got what I need, and I'm sitting here, and I'm staying, and I've covered all my bases. Who had Uranus here? was Article 5 for NATO. And that was it. So, tells a really interesting story here. Okay, I hope you like this. Please like the video, subscribe. We'll see you soon. Bye.